Overcompensating. Finally, I just get it, and we now trying to actually find this essence of the success of this TV show, because this is really something big from all the recent stuff, and it kind of seems similar to the sex lives of college girls, especially when first part of season 1, when they trying to adjust their lives to this new environment, but this time it's not like Essex, it's Yates University. So Benny, the main character, arrives, and he is a football player. He's some kind of Kimberly or something like that character from the sex lives of college girls, and of course the main character should be falling in love, or should be hitting on another similar or character that would be matching his vibe. And I think they found perfect episode 1 couple, because this connection they made in episode 1 of Overcompensating is actually catching, and it feels more good beginning for brand new TV show. And the other characters, they are supportive, but still I don't think they are 100% supportive, because Peter and Grace, basically two other main characters apart from Benny and what was your name? Benny and Carmen. So basically we have two different couples and two different characters, and Benny and Carmen, they do not really supposed to be working in this TV show, because this is called Overcompensating for a reason, because Benny is basically trying to hide his identity in this college life, and he's trying to just blend with all the people and to be someone he is really not. So this is the main focus, and basically we have his friend, and it looks more like his friend the opposite of Benny's character, because even though he's hooking up with Benny's sister, he doesn't really hide, or he doesn't really try to be someone else. He is what he is, and this is his nature of this character, Peter. I really like his character, because I think he brings 50% of success of this of the series. And he, of course, as Benny's brother, let's say, he's trying to make him as successful in this university as Peter is, because he has his girlfriend. He's basically like he is basically is the center of every party. He basically well-known guy in this university, and he's trying to set up Benny for like his first sex in this university, because Benny is a newcomer, freshman, and Peter basically is already like settled, and they just, what they do with his girlfriend, they try and just to spice up their relationship. This is all you need probably when you already like spent 4 years in this university. You probably the least you need is just looking for another like serious relationship, but to be in some kind of experiment. So this is their experiment. They're trying to be like they're trying to be taking all the advantages of this last year at Yates. And Benny's sister Grace basically is more confident and straightforward than Benny is, and I don't think that she is straight, and probably she is not hiding this as Benny does, but still she has some similar traits from Benny's character, because they are brother and sister. It's just inevitable, but still she is not a freshman, so she is already in this like university, and she knows exactly like how it works, So, and Benny's first party seems to be him hitting on Carmen, another freshman, and his first partner, let's say, in this TV show. And he already like received all the necessary advices from his friend Peter. So this is gonna be, apparently this is not gonna be success, because even though he like has his friend and everything goes smoothly, but his identity is still something that disturbing him, because he's trying to hide it so fucking hard, but it's not something you can actually cover up, because if you like constantly covering up your identity, at some point it will just like fight back, and it will even double down, like, because you were hiding it so long. And like this TV show is specifically covering that subject, of how you, or a lot of people, they are not exactly who they supposed to be, and they trying to be like someone they are not. So, and since there is a lot of different characters, we need to be like dividing them into like supportive and main character. But first of all, what exactly happened at this party? Let's break this little bit down. they were playing games, and at some point Benny, he was like caught in this moment when he realized that his identity, homosexual identity, haunting him. Even at this party, he missed this opportunity with Carmen, because he was like struggling to accept that now he is with a woman, but still he cannot accept that he likes men as well. So this is like dilemma for him. He is trying to be balancing those feelings, but it's not something you can just balance. You cannot over balance it. And at some point, if you constantly overcompensating, and some weird shit is gonna happen. And in this TV show, a lot of like toilet humor, a lot of different jokes that are like so common for American comedies. But I think the only people who can make a good TV show like this, and specifically with this subject, and the only people who can make is Americans, because there's nobody else who can make this TV show as good as it is, and this is something you cannot just this is not something even for comedies, but for a lot of genres, but comedies specifically, I mean, like this type of college comedy and with humor like this. So, and when Benny is missed his first opportunity, at least he realized what actually can make him out of this situation, and he found out what actually like turns him on. So if he thinks about like men and being with a man in general, he feels like this is his trigger, but and when he withdrew from that situation with Carmen, he went to toilet, and that scene was basically like one of those scenes you cannot just not to put in this type of comedy, because all comedies like this, they just saturated with, again, toilet jokes and scenes like this. And I'm okay with those jokes in this TV show, because they make it make sense. It's not just too much, it's not overwhelming, and at least, dude, don't forget, wash your hands. Yes. Basically, this is the moment when, he realized that shit disturbing him so much. And at this party, it's even, it was looking weird because everybody was just staring at him, and he was like hugging Peter, in a way that friend doesn't, friends basically do not like hugging that way. And we already know that at some point should be something like between Benny and this student, because they are basically uh, if we know like how it works in other TV shows, we already know that in this TV show it's supposed to be working the same way, but it's slightly different, and I like it because they made something differently, and they do not try to be like, or to seem like the sex lives of college girls. They basically similar just because of the again, education and all that stuff, students. It's just supposed to be similar, but they do not try to be like completely like copying other series. And it always works when you have enough characters, supportive and main characters, who can make it work like this, and who can bring the vibe that will, stand out, that will like seem different from other stuff we already have. And this is one of those supportive characters who basically, again, bring in that vibe of something we want to keep watching, because she makes basically all the scenes she appears in like perfect. They are like mix of her straightforwardness and how she handles situations in the most humorous way, but she's still something like I really like think that she's the most ridiculously entertaining character in this TV show. You cannot just imagine this TV show without her participation in this, and this is like how it works with any other TV show, because this is basically the recipe of the success of your TV show. Supportive characters, entertaining supportive characters, good main characters, probably not like one or two, but more, and all the jokes, making sense and do not make it too much, like cringe. And even though there are a lot of jokes and there are a lot of moments like throwing up, like falling on the ground, like something like I would not watch if it was in like the sex lives of college girls, because that TV show is basically putting too much this type of moments, but overwhelming actually, they overwhelming, but overcompensating TV show is balancing it, and you feel like every episode is still as cringe and as serious as the other one, so there is no like imbalancing, and I really like watched first 4 episodes just enjoying every moment, every joke was so on point. And this is the moment when I realized that this is basically even better than my last favorite, College Girls, because College Girls probably will not do any continuation, but for this TV show I'm pretty sure there will be continuation. Like season 2 is 100% gonna be there. It's just the matter of time, And I still watching this, and I didn't even like complete because I stopped at episode 4 season 1, and I'm trying to really just enjoy it, not to rush it, So when you have, again, supportive characters, they are working. Now you have to put some efforts into like the motivation, right? So what actually drives them? So if we're talking about Benny character, we already know what drives him, right? It's just he's trying to cover his identity, and he's trying to prove his friends, specifically Peter, that he can be that guy he is not, but at least he can seem that guy everybody loves in this university. When you're hooking up with a girl, with woman, you know what, like, what you need, to do so. And he's trying to act accordingly, and this is the same way works with Carmen, basically, because she's trying to be that girl she's not. Like, she's trying to copy her roommates, like, specifically she's trying to be like Haley. This is her, like, best advisor in relationships, how it works in the university. And when you have your friends who is so experienced in this place, you basically, like, you're not set for fail. You're supposed to be, winning. You're supposed to be getting what you want. But your friends, Haley, and all the women, they basically focusing too much on stuff happening with their lives. Like, they do not spend so much time with Carmen, but they trying to be a part of other, like, parties, so they do not really like so close to her. And basically, what makes Carmen in need of a friend like this, like Haley or any close friend, is that she actually lost her brother in an accident, and her brother died. So she now, like, needs someone, like sister, and she, like, sees that sister in Haley, or like she's trying to be close to her. And at some point, Haley, like, sharing with her all the, like, private life and her personal, like, life, all her relationships. But Carmen basically, like, she's not like this, and she cannot be that, straightforward with this, like, personal information about relationship and about all this. And this is, like, their main probably similarity with Benny, because they are both, like, awkward. They both, like, they're both trying their best, but they are so, like, they're just lacking any experience, in this area of relationship. And this is why the characters, they are so real. They're like, funny, and they sometimes so cringy, but they are real. We can really like empathize with these type of characters, and this is what I really enjoy when it comes to Overcompensating TV show. And basically we know that Michael was her brother who died in an accident or something, and she's still trying to like reaching him, because she's like texting in some type of group chat when all the friends, of Michael and of hers, and she already like broke up with her ex or something, because she was multiple times like given his notifications from like him, hooking up with other women, and she just throw out her past relationship and unfollowed him on social medias, of course. This is really funny how they just show every little detail, like what they texting, what they doing in social medias, and how they actually all those details like work on this like TV show overall, because those little details would actually just make it different. Because if you do not have something like that diversify you will be just another TV show like similar or barely different from like your predecessors, And at this point, all actions and all the situation with Benny and his identity is gonna be like, his main struggle, but at some point they getting close with his new crush, because this is basically his first really close gay friend or something, because we know that Miles is basically will have some type of relationship with Benny. And they trying to find IDs, because they are not old enough to go to the party they want to, and to go to that party they trying to even resort to getting fake IDs. And basically Benny getting that fake ID from his friend Peter, because Peter doesn't really need it anymore, because probably he is just old enough already to go to any party he wants. But basically he's trying to make this gesture with Benny to show him how he's putting so much on Benny's shoulders, and he sees him as his successor in this university, So just take this and go do better than I did. This is what he said, and he said, you cannot beat me, but you can be like as good as I was, at least. And his relationship with his girlfriend Grace is basically this, like, something I still do not know exactly, like, what they have in common or something, but still, when I will see more episodes, I will understand why they have so much, like, happening in their relationship that is still not resolved, So, and Carmen, she resorted to fake ID as well, but to get one, she needs to be like helpful for another student, and she tried to help him with the story, with the fictional character, and in return she would get the ID from him. But basically, that was like, for him, that was like attempt to show his friends that, like, she was basically hitting on him or something, and she told that she was trying actually to hit on me, but at the same time they agreed on Peter will have some encountering with Carmen at some point, and Peter made this bet that he will be sleeping with Carmen at some point in this TV show, and that he will succeed at least once, and they cheering him up, like they know that he is that guy, who's gonna be with Carmen at some point. But Carmen, she is not really like I don't think that she is gonna be that person he needs, actually. Only like one night stand, and that's what it's gonna be, probably. I still watching it, so I do not really know, but I'm like currently at episode 5, and so when they went to this rock bar or something, they definitely they definitely supposed to be meeting everybody at that club, because that was like huge event for them as freshmen, as just people who want to go and hang out somewhere. And Carmen got ID, but with the age that is not just considered to be enough, like 20 years old, fake ID that is not working. And basically she was forced just to leave this party, and she left Benny in the situation when he needs to decide finally what he wants. And here is on the on the one side is just Miles and his true identity, but he chose, of course, because it was too early to make this step towards Miles. He made this choice, and that was obviously Carmen, who is not attending that party because she doesn't have any requirements in terms of ID. So we have this happened, and now it's like that was the most probably sincere conversation since they were sharing their like information about like personal lives and about their brother, sister, and I thought that this is gonna be their last kiss, and if I'm wrong, probably, because I never watched more than 4 episodes of this TV show, but I'm still watching, so probably I will see tonight. And Miles finally requested Benny's Instagram, and they now, as well as Peter, requested Carmen's social media. So they are now connected. Now we have another drama set for next like episodes, and this is really, it just works, and I really love the concept they just came up with, to set up different members of this community. Like on the one side we put Peter, who is basically like the opposite of Benny's character, and trying to set him up with Carmen, and we trying to still like setting Benny with Miles, and this is just perfect. You can root for Benny, you can root for Carmen, doesn't matter. The TV show is working, and this is the only matter. And they receiving some type of invitation to Flesh and Gold society. It's like, for privileged students who is like succeeding in this university, and this is gonna be some type of fraternity they had in Sex Lives of College Girls. We remember that there were some type of similar groups with like women with men who was trying to be a part of that community. And Peter basically is gonna be keeper. It's like director, president of that club, and this is like his goal for next episodes. He's trying to secure his place, secure the investments coming into this club, and this is also a good idea. I think this is working. Why not? Like, even though I'm not really big fan of these type of communities being so exaggerated, I think they have less of a value in the real life because they do not really influence that much students' lives. I guess it's just working a little bit differently, but still I'm okay with this concept because it's entertaining, and this is the matter. This is the main reason why we're watching. We need to be entertained. And when they came up with this like idea of community where only exclusive people entering, this is gonna be like challenge for Carmen, because Benny received the letter, but Carmen was supposed to be proving that she is worth to enter that community, and she was given like this challenge when Peter would see that she is ready for entering that community basically at this party. And basically at this party happened that Peter said that their investments from Oxford is in trouble basically, so he needs some type of solution. But next episode we already see that everything okay with that community, and Peter becoming a keeper president of that community. So now we have 4 episodes, and development is still in the process. Characters still adapting to this events happening. Especially his girlfriend seems to be so confused about her part in this new life of her boyfriend Peter, because now he's a president, he has more of a power, and she seems to be so dependent on him. Basically, emotionally, she seems to be so under his influence, and it looks so obvious because she was trying to communicate with her friend Mimi, and Peter tried to basically spoil that moment for them or something. And I think that this is not your friend only, if I'm wrong, but I feel like they have more in common than just be friends. And what actually made this season, this brand new TV show for me, a little bit less perfect than it should have been, that was probably the main focus of episode 5 or something, because after he got his position as a president, as a keeper, next episode so focusing on the person I would not really want to see in another TV show. After we've got Charlie XCX in Gossip Girl, you remember that? The last version of Gossip Girl. I would not really understand why they would put her in another project. What the reason of that, because you have already know her name. You have already her career as a musician, but he is constantly appearing in this type of TV shows. But her personality is okay. I just prefer her to stay away from TV shows like this, at least, because her character was so off. The vibe was not there of the overcompensating vibe, was basically due to these characters: Peter, Grace, Benny, and Carmen. And that was so well done till this point. When she appeared, basically I was like, why they did that? Oh my god. And the whole episode 5 was basically, for me, it was just a flop. I would not really consider that something you want spend your time on, because This is basically didn't bring anything to the table, and this doesn't do anything with like this TV show in general. It's only like representing your personality, your character as Charlie XCX, and kind of promoting your music, or I don't know the reason, but still I don't think that she was supposed to be there, because this working pretty good without any extra like star like this, at least they could have brought someone like, I don't know, more Megan Fox. Why not? Since Megan Fox is so like expiring for Benny, they could have just easily got her in this series as like supportive type of character, and she could have just played way more scenes. She could have participated really, not just on the poster, not just like a picture, because she was basically like some kind of she was portraying herself in this TV show, Megan Fox, as Megan Fox. But I thought that they wanna just make more sense out of this, being her in this series. And that would make more sense than Charlie XCX being so focused of the whole episode, like, So this is the only miss for me in first 4 or 5 episodes of this TV show. Other than that, everything is so perfect. And you can miss, but it's just my opinion. For everybody else, it probably seems like on point and seems reasonable. But for me, it was not. When it comes to guests like pop star or like another popular actress, I would prefer Megan Fox over Charlie XCX, or I would prefer even any other like big artist. So let's say this was the part 1 of the overcompensating, because 4 episodes not enough to make like final conclusion, and you cannot decide like whether it's gonna be good or not, because you need full picture for rating your, for giving your rating to this work. And we're gonna be doing some more parts next time, but that was just episode 1 and episode 4 of Overcompensating. And this is even after I thought that this is not something good, really, because I was trying to like skip through all the episodes, and I thought that this is like not something really worth watching, but after that I was struggling to find like really good content, because you need to be like productive on YouTube. All the TV shows supposed like to work on your channel, and to find that TV show that would be working really good, I spend a lot of time on really finding that TV show, and I don't know if this is that, but at least I was entertained watching it, and this is like the sign probably that this is something I need to, like, watch more closely and carefully. So if you still you have some plans to watch it, let me know your thoughts after you did that. If you know something from next episodes that I do not spoil it for me, please, because I'm still trying to make it. But thank you for watching this anyway, and I see you next time with another overcompensating, or we can make it in different parts of future streams. Let's see. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.